Morning, folks. Excuse me. Should have cleared my throat earlier. Welcome to my humble homestead in the forest in Canada, and welcome to my chokecherries. I hope you're able to see from where you are what they look like, what the clusters look like, and maybe I'll pick up the camera after I'm done. I'll show you a little close up of it. Possibly from probably sour cherry family or cherries family. I remember when I lived in a different province, I always preferred, I still do, sour cherries to sweet Bing cherries, the big cherries, the dark cherries that you normally find. And I never understood why there weren't enough sour cherries at the store where I lived. And the season was shorter and the price was higher. Well, now I know, since moving here, the reason for that is that they prefer not the warmer climates, but cooler climates like we have here. And so with many of its varieties or family members, of which this is one, chokecherries. Chokecherries have been used by the First Nations folks for I don't know how long, but good for many ailments, different parts of it. But it's one of those. Also, I mean, you've seen some of my videos. Some plants are almost good for everything: cancer fighting, vitamins A. C, pretty much anything with a red pigment is high in vitamin C. Like I did a video on rose hips. Carbohydrates, even. I mean, good for so many things. I don't even know where to start. But they're more than just. You might think. How can I put it? Like a survival situation. This is almost like something you need regularly. Now, eaten in more than normal, more than normal amounts, like whatever, even itself or the leaves, they can be poisonous. But definitely don't eat the seeds. Inside they have like the pits or the stones or seeds or whatever that you want to call it that all cherries have. You never want to eat that. And in fact, I don't want you to do anything that I'm telling you what I use these plants and herbs for, because it's just what I do here. This channel is all about how I live in the forest as I do. I'm not promoting that you should do this or any of that. What I like to do with them is you can make port out of them, which requires sugar, which I prefer not to, because because they're from families of closely related to sour cherries, they're on the sour spectrum or end of the chart than they are on the sweet. But the darker they get, and they will get darker than this, I just don't. I have many of these. I mean, they look like trees, but they're not. They're shrubs or plants, in my opinion. The barks don't really get much bigger than that, and that's not really a tree, in my opinion. Again, but I can make jellies or syrups out of them. My personal preference is syrup, and you can, if you want to try these, you can make them as sweet as you like them. But for me, because I prefer sour to sweet, I don't put a lot of sugar, or in my case, honey, if you have access to, in them, because I do prefer them to be on the tangy, soury side of it. But so if you make whatever you make, you can make syrup to put on your pancakes or waffles. You can make little tarts, with maybe apples in it, maybe to balance it, the sweetness and the sourness. You can make, like spreading, like a sort of a jam, like preserve. You can make drinks like fresh. You can just boil it down with some water, and like I said, however amount of sugar you want, and that becomes like a sort of a lemonade, but only it's not a lemon. It's called a chokecherry. For summer, it's very refreshing. Many things you can do with it. I don't know about tinctures. I've never tried that, but in my case, I like to make them into syrup. So I boil them down a lot, so like fairly thick on the thick side, and then I use a bit in a jar of water in the summertime, because I like to drink them as sort of a take turns when I drink my when I come inside from working outside. So I like to have a jar of iced tea. When I finish, go to a jar of black currant, drink like a iced tea, if again, okay, I don't know what else to call it, and then chokecherry. Just rotate them so I don't get tired. I like variety, so I don't. That way I don't get too much of one thing in me, and as I prefer not to. So give them a try if you think this is something you like. Of course, to my friends, current and future friends, it's all free. I don't have a ton, so I'm not necessarily giving them away. But if they're willing to come and help out around the property, then they can pick, or they can take the actual berries and cherries, berries, and plant them. Then you can have your own. But just remember what they like, sort of a more of a wet feet, wetland, cooler area to do best. Also, if I have, you know how with everything there's a bumper crop year with everything, and so when and if I do have those years and I have more jars, like this year, actually I say this year, but every year we have an amazing harvest of black currants. So then if I've already done the work and it's in the form of a jam, then or blackberries, which are very prolific, and I had another amazing year which I'm giving away to my neighbors, close neighbors. And so this to good friends, current and future good friends, I will give them away for free too. But give them a try if you think it's something that you would enjoy. I'm going to pick the camera up, and show you a little close up of what they look like, and I hope the camera is able to capture their beauty in their pearl-like. And don't mistake these for, say, honeysuckle. When they're not as ripe as this, they're beautiful reddish orange color, which so are honeysuckles fruit. And you don't, those, if I'm not mistaken, honeysuckles is more poisonous, so you really don't want to consume them. Aren't they beautiful? You can see how it rained yesterday and the raindrops on it. I should take a picture of that I'm going to be doing slideshows later of everything that grows here. Well, folks, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this little short video of plant recognition, what grows in my neck of the woods. Take good care.